am Kelly and I draw things, and today you're going to sit on a strategy call between me and Liz. Liz runs a product-based business focused on the Spanish language and pre-Columbian themes, and she sells at markets and Etsy and Shopify and through wholesale. So she already has a lot of traction in a lot of different places. And so the challenge wasn't starting, it was organizing and scaling without creating more chaos behind the scenes because there's already a lot going on. So in this call, we focus on inventory structure, SKU organization, pricing consistency, and cleaning up her email marketing system so growth feels more manageable. So if you're building a lot of momentum, but you're feeling friction from the back end, this is going to be helpful. Let's jump on the call.
Hey, I'm Liz Gonzalez, and I sell stuff, digital art. So I'm not like um, I don't know, like a conventional artist, but I picked up Procreate like in 2021. My friend of mine was getting a master's degree in to be a diagnostician, and she had us as friends take all of these like interests surveys, and they were all surprised that my like artistic one came back so high. And I was like, well, remember, I was a music major before I was a history teacher. And so they were like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And yeah, so I just started drawing as like a way to relax as a hobby. And then somehow, I don't even know how, but like 6 months later, I was selling at markets. And so I
Great.
put my stuff on stickers and bookmarks and keychains and t-shirts sometimes and totes sometimes. But I've been listening to your um, Launchpad and like talking about narrowing down. And so like I'm starting to archive some of the stuff, like retire some of the stuff. Like I
Yeah.
don't need to do everything, and just try to focus. But yeah, a lot of my stuff is Spanish language or Spanish focused, and a lot of pre-Columbian art is, so my niche is very niche.
Define pre-Columbian art for me.
So like,
Also, I'm taking notes as we go. I
yeah,
took notes all. So if you see me looking down, I'm
no,
just
you're all good.
taking notes. Okay, just
Yeah,
you'd be
I
like,
do
she's
the
not
same
even
thing.
looking at me. I'd be like, no, I'm writing what it's
No,
important.
you're
Okay.
all good. So pre-Columbian, like before Columbus came to the Americas, indigenous art. So um, a lot of my like art features, like I guess what some people would describe as like mythological gods, right? Or deities from the Mexica or Teotihuacan or even older, Olmec, deities.
Great. All right. I would love to be able to read my own handwriting. Oh, what do you want to walk away with today?
Good question. I don't remember the description of your like call out on in the email, but I think I just wanted to talk to you about inventory. I think was like my like first like highlighted one.
All right.
I don't have a like I have like I sell in person, with not that often, but I sell in person, and then I sell wholesale, and then I sell through Shopify, not very much, and through Etsy also not very much. So I just have a hard time keeping track of how much I actually have.
Okay, inventory. Okay, great. And so you had listed quite a few things on the form. So is inventory like the most important thing that you want to focus on today?
It is what I would love to wrap my head around, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So I looked at your sites. Love it. You're also teaching full time, and so you're doing this as a side business. Is that correct?
Right, right. This doesn't, pay the bills or anything, and that's a huge privilege. I know. But that also means that I don't devote a whole lot of time to it. And I really want to make an effort this year is, I guess, my fifth year in business. And I really want to make it a priority because it makes me happy. And I really enjoy doing it. And it is like teaching kind of because so many people are not familiar with what it is that I draw that I get to explain that to them, especially that's why I especially enjoy live markets. And then, yeah, it makes me really happy to know that like there are people on Fair who will buy it wholesale. And so it's in different states, and that's really cool.
How many people are you selling to on Fair?
Ooh, I have no idea. Is
I'm
there
just
an easy way
nosy.
to look that up?
Um,
Customers.
yeah. Is there a number on there?
It says 24 contacts, and I'm pretty sure
Great.
they've all made purchases.
That's excellent. 2 dozen. All right, cool. Okay, so for inventory, I'm also selling in basically all the places you're selling. So
Mhm.
I can talk about how I do it.
Yeah.
I am going to admit it's not a perfect system. I'm going to outgrow it here in the next couple of years. I'm going to have to pay for an inventory system, which I've been
Yeah.
avoiding doing. So what I do is free. So are you familiar with Square, the
Hmm.
app? Okay.
Yeah.
So, because you're probably using it to process payments, right?
I,
Okay.
mhm.
I was too. So what I did was I used a second email to make a second account. And I list all my products in there. Everything is zeros, like zero cost. I don't link in my bank. There's nothing financial going through that account. And
Okay.
I just use it to keep track of inventory. And
Okay.
so like I was packing orders right before this call. And so I go on Etsy and I scroll down through my orders and I type in on my phone. I'm like, okay, I sold 3 coloring books this week. Boop, boop, boop. So, oh, I sold one of that sticker, and I'm keying it in and I do it for
Mhm.
Etsy. And then I do it for my website and then I do it for Fair. And then when I get stuff in, you can add an inventory
Mhm.
to it's under managed stock that it's kind of hidden now. It's like under like a two-tier system,
Okay.
but that's kind of how I do it.
Yeah.
Um, just run it my numbers, and then twice a year I do an inventory audit where I actually take everything out and count it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did I forget to put it in one day or did I drop something or, things like that. And that's what I've been doing.
Okay.
It's fine.
Hmm.
It's not the most time savvy thing I've ever done, but it's free and it works for now. In the next year, I'm sure I'll have a video on a new system that I'm using that actually like keeps track of things. Like you can like plug things in. Like I'll be able to plug in my Shopify that I'm building. I don't have it yet. And my Fair and my Etsy, and it'll do it for me.
Hmm.
But that's what I do right now. Okay, this is editing Kelly a little while later. Since I had that chat, I listened to a podcast by Jacqueline Snyder from The Product Boss, and she was talking about your business essentially outgrowing its systems. And I did experience that recently. I had a big event and my inventory system couldn't keep up. I oversold bookmarks like 5 or 6 different times. And I was like, okay, it's time. So I am switching to Trunk. It's trunkinventory.com. I've got a code or a link or something. I'll put it in the description. But this way, my Fair inventory and my soon to be Shopify inventory and my Etsy inventory and what is currently on Squarespace inventory all syncs and it all talks together, and I don't have to worry about overselling and running out and panicking. And I mean, it was a headache. So I have switched to a new paid inventory system. I'm very new. I will make a bigger video on it later. But I just wanted to let you know, in case you're looking for an inventory system, it comes to me highly recommended by lots of different people. And it integrates with pretty much everything you could possibly want. All right, now back to the call.
Hmm.
A simpler way of doing that is also just doing it in a Google Sheet or Excel sheet, where once a week you just add up what you sold and you put it in and you have it plus and minus and then add. And then at the end, it's like totals. But it's kind of what you want to do. I like Square because I can set it up where it'll give me low stock alerts. It'll email me and be like, hey, you're low on this thing. Order
Hmm.
it. And I'm like, okay. And I can just, I can
Yeah.
do it. Um, but I'll be the first to admit it's clunky because I'm not using what it's supposed to be used for, but it's
Yeah.
free. So it
Yeah.
makes me happy. So
Yeah.
that's what I do for inventory. Do you have a SKU system set up? Do you know what that is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Cool.
I do. I don't have like I watched another creator's video maybe a year ago, and she does like first 3 letters is the item type. So like SK for or ST for sticker or whatever. And then um next would be like the number, like it's the first item that she coded, and then the second set of letters would be where she got it from. And
Oh,
then that's what mixed me up. So like whether because she doesn't produce in house, if she got it from Sticker Bro, she'd be SB, and then she got it from Sticker Meal, she'd be SM, and then she would give it another number, which I don't remember what that meant. But
probably like the number of times she's ordered it. That sounds really
yeah,
complicated.
yeah. So it messed me up because then I stopped using a certain vendor, and so then my I don't know, like my stacks were like all SB, and so then at that point, what did it matter if they were all from
Right.
Sticker Bro? So yeah.
So what I do is I have, okay, this is a bookmark. And I have bookmarks, stickers, notepads, and coloring books. That's all I sell right now. And
Hmm.
so I have the first three letters is BMK for bookmark, and then 001 because it's my first design. And I try
Hmm.
to put it on everything. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like really,
Hmm.
really small at the bottom. And that way, if a vendor's like, hey, I only have one of this bookmark left, it has a cat on it. And I'm like, okay, I have six of those. Can you be more specific? It has books. Okay, I have 18 of those, and like it's confusing. So they go, oh, I'm like, oh, what's the number on the back? They go, oh, BMK001. I know exactly what they're talking about.
Hmm.
So it helps to communicate, but also in Square, you can put in the SKUs
Yeah.
and you can get like a barcode scanner. There's only one that works with the Square app, and it is a Rocket mobile scanner. It's linked in my resource list. It's chapter one, video two.
Okay.
And there's like a button. It goes to a Google Doc of everything I've ever used for my business with real
Yeah, I
links
have
and
seen
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And so it's on there, and it's nice because then I can um, print out barcodes that correlate to my numbers because a barcode is just a series of lines and spaces in between them that mean different letters and numbers. And
Hmm.
so there are a billion barcode generators out there. I have a big chunk of my Google Doc as well that talks about that
Yeah.
and like how to set it up and like how I did it. And so I can just go along and I have all my barcodes and I just go beep, 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 beep. And it sends it to my phone and I can do inventory that way. It's a little faster than like having to hand type everything.
Yeah.
But
And did
yeah,
you make the barcodes in, I don't remember if it was your video that I watched or somebody else's in the Shopify?
I'm not on Shopify yet.
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
building my shop. I'm going to launch this summer because I'm migrating from Squarespace because I'm rebranding part. It's complicated. It's a whole thing. But no, I just use like type in barcode generator online.
Okay.
But I have one linked on the Google Doc. And
Because
so
I made the barcodes, but I made them using Shopify. And they came out really nice, and but I don't have a scanner to then connect it to. And then
yeah.
there's also some things that I sell live only, the like
Mhm.
in-market exclusives and not on Shopify. And so it's like and they're not at the scale where I can sell them wholesale yet either. And so not all of my platforms are also the same inventory. So that also makes it
And
tough.
that's fine. Mine aren't either. I
Okay.
release things to wholesale 3 months before retail.
Okay.
And so, but the SKU shouldn't change based on where it's being sold.
Okay.
It's just like assigned here. Let me pull up my spreadsheet where I keep track of them all. Do, 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 do. I'm gonna share my screen. Ta-da. Okay, so welcome to my SKUs. And so this is actually this one, ironically, it's the first one.
Hmm.
So the name is Bookshelf. That's not a great name. It should be a little more descriptive, but it was my only bookmark at the time, so that's what it was called. And it's BMK001. So whether I'm listing it on Fair or Etsy or Shopify or selling it in person, it's always BMK001.
Okay.
Now, in my barcode system, it's just BMK001 because that's what this barcode is. It's like the B is here, the M is here, the K is here, like all the lines. It's like a different font for the letters. Like Dingback's font. It's that, but it's a
Right.
bunch of lines. And so on Fair and Etsy, I'll actually do the numbers and letters and then a dash and then like a descriptor. That way, when it pops up on my, the packing slip you print out, I'm not like, what's BMK016? I don't remember.
Mhm.
It'll say, well, what is it? I think it's a green dragon. See, I didn't even know. Yeah, see, it's not. So it'll say Lo-Fi City. I'm like, oh, I know what that is. And it's like a hint for me. Because,
Yeah.
like in fair titles, it's not always what we call it.
Mhm.
It's what they're looking up. It's keywords. And so it's always three letters and then numbers in sequential order. And then like it never changes. Like even if I retire designs, which is what these red ones are, like
Mhm.
that number is used, it's gone. And it stays in
Okay.
my system that way. So
Got
that's
it.
bookmarks. And then stickers is STK and then 001. And or 002 or 003. And that just goes on. I mean, I have a lot more stickers than I have bookmarks because they're easier to make, but or like
Yeah.
at least, so that is how I do that. And then notepads is the same thing. Now, books, see, this is where I do as I say, not as I do moment. I had BOK 004. Well, the O looks like a zero and it's confusing. So I changed it to BKS and that's much better. So try to avoid O's.
Yeah,
Um,
in the name.
yeah, because that's just confusing. And so that's how I do a SKU system, and it's the
Okay.
same SKUs across every
Yeah.
single platform. And I don't add in where I got it. The theme of my 2026 is simplify. So
Yeah.
getting lots of stickers from lots of different places, unless there is a specific finish that you're going with,
Hmm.
I don't think it matters. And also, like you
Hmm.
can tell by touch. Like if I'm an artist alley, I like touch everyone's stuff if they let you. I'm like, oh, this one is sticker blitz, this one is sticker meal, this one's sticker app. Like you can
Yeah.
tell by touch and finish after a while,
Yeah.
especially if they're
For
your
me, it's
products.
the smell from the adhesive. Some of them don't smell
Some
nice.
of them smell bad, yeah.
Yeah.
My packing tape smells not super great.
Oh,
Even like I was doing a ton of packing in January after the fair market, and my whole office, I'm like, it smells like tape in here, which is
yeah.
a weird thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
so
just saw your newsletter. Congrats on hitting 5 digits. That's
thank you.
awesome.
I know. I got on to look at something else, and I went, that what? What? I was
That's wild.
so pleased. Yeah, I was, and so I called my husband. I was like, oh my God. And he was like, 10 more months of that and you're at six figures. I'm like,
There
shut
you
up.
go.
And I was like, okay, I'll get right on that. It's like, it is a twice a year event, but okay. But last year I made 41, like
Yeah.
total. And so I just made 25%. And I was like, it's working. It's what I'm doing is working.
Yes.
Wow, what a good feeling. And so I'm like, let me tell everyone. So like, I'm like, look, it worked. Um, but yeah, and so the SKU system is helpful for that because it's just like an organizational thing. And I think that helps with inventory and then it goes into your inventory systems.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Okay. Questions on that part?
No, and I'm gonna make a note to myself to get the Rocket Mobile once I
Yeah,
once
it's a little pricey.
my
I
fair
think.
market deposits go
Mhm.
in.
Oh yeah. So like I retired from in-person events last year and now I have
Hmm.
one this summer because I was invited. So I have a
Hmm.
rare in-person event, but at markets, oh my God, so helpful. So I don't have a piece of paper. Okay, we'll pretend
I
piece of
did,
paper.
yeah,
Yeah, and so I'll take it and I'll just print out all of my barcodes on one piece of paper with little itty
yeah.
bitty images, and I can just beep 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 and scan the way I don't have to sticker each individual item because if I sticker it, then I can't come back and sell it wholesale and things like that, right? And, oh my God, like save me probably hours of typing things in at the market because I can just talk and beep 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 and away we go. Is really
Yeah,
really
that's great.
yeah. So for the markets, it's great and. The charge on mine lasts because it's chargeable, right? It lasts
Mhm.
like 3, 4 days. So you need to take the charger. You can just take it with you to the market. So,
Okay. Awesome.
um, yeah, but so that's inventory. Um, what were you learning from from the worksheets about target audience and simplifying? Because you kind of mentioned that. Can you tell me like
Yeah,
what you're doing with
just
that?
I felt affirmed in my like niche, and but I heard the message loud and clear that like I don't need to do everything. And I was already feeling that way, but like I needed to hear it again that like I don't need to also just because I can sublimate koozies doesn't mean I need to. Like
Right.
just because I can, I don't know. Oh, like I was making keychains. Like it doesn't mean I have to. So, and especially because I am a full-time social studies teacher, like that's what I do. And so and then, if, of course, to scale that, like, there's no way I could ever sell like hand make keychains and then sell them wholesale on fair. Like, that's not going to happen. So they're just market things, and I just used up all of the materials, and I made like 30, 40 of them, and I'm going to sell them at my markets, and then they're going to be gone. And then whatever materials I have left over, There's this really cool store in Dallas called Pegasus that it's like a craft store. It's a pay what you can and you can take your donations there, and so I'm just going to take my and they can do something with it.
Wonderful.
Somebody can pick up a new hobby and
We
it'll make me
have
feel good
Yeah,
to
we
donate.
have a similar thing here in Savannah.
Yeah.
And it's great because like I'll go in and I'll take stuff in and I leave with more stuff I took. So it's really unhelpful actually.
I'm gonna try real hard not to do that.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I'm dropping this off. No, I don't need a receipt, and like walk back
yeah,
up.
yeah,
So as someone else who also works full time while doing this, our hours are limited. So I also think
yeah.
narrowing in on what
Mhm.
products you're making is going to help you get more time to put into the ones that you have,
Mhm.
which is great. I think that's good. Um, in terms of like sales in like markets versus Etsy versus wholesale, is there one that's really doing a lot more for you than others?
Markets are always really successful if I'm in the right area. Like there are some areas of Dallas where it's just not my crowd, it's just not my people. So, but I've had to learn that, you know. Like I'm like I like coming here, but I guess
Right.
people that buy my art don't like coming here. So, when it's really good, it's really good. And so I used to do a whole bunch, like one every month or something. And now I kind of just do like three. And I don't trust like every person that's offering a market. Like I have like a trusted now like two people that if they're offering a market, I know it's going to be good. I know their clientele. Their customers kind of expect me to be there, you know, like that type of stuff. So I really enjoy doing that, and I make good money from there. And then fair is going to be the second thing. I probably make more money from fair, honestly, but
Okay.
I probably do them about the same. Fair has been picking up a little bit more. I also work all summer too, so I kind of miss the
Interesting.
whole
Okay.
market season. Yeah, I
Yeah.
score AP exams.
Okay.
And then yeah, and that's like a whole month. And then I travel with students, and then sometimes I also do teacher trainings. So
You're a busy
um,
lady. Yeah.
I'm a busy lady. So
Okay. Great.
but yeah, Etsy, very little, except for I have a product that is geared toward teachers. It's like a thank you postcard for teachers based around like probably my most popular design, which is a marigold flower. And it says, "Thank you for being my marigold." And it's a blog post. It's based on a blog post where they talk about how marigolds actually help other flowers flower and how walnuts steal the nutrients from nearby. And so it, like the whole message is be a marigold, not a walnut. And it's very popular in teacher circles. So every September, August, I get a ton of marigold orders from Etsy. But the rest of the year, not really, you know, one or
Okay.
two a month, honestly. And Shopify, like nothing. Like it doesn't even, I keep thinking it's not worth paying $40 every
It
month.
is $40 a month. I
But
learned that because I'm running three
yeah,
websites right now, and I'm like, I'm paying for all of them until I shut the other one down. Like, oh my God.
yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah,
a lot.
I see a lot of people moving their snail mail to their storefront so that that way they don't have to do two different, like a Patreon
Yeah. Hmm.
a website. But and for a time I also had a snail mail. I also had a Patreon, and I was like, I do not have the time or the creative. I think the creative time to like sit down and make something new every month. I
As
just
someone
didn't.
who runs it, it's a lot of energy. Like
Yeah.
until Launchpad launched, like I was pretty steady, and now it is growing because people are like, getting like the behind the scenes and the Q&A and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is a lot of work for four
Yeah.
people. So I get
But
that.
yeah, I've stuck with the Shopify, I think just because I'm like, I mean, I can afford it. Like it's, you know, it's not coming out of my pocket. It's just kind of
It's a
paying for
business expense.
it. Yeah, so I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm trying to get better about it and trying to like collect emails, and I'm gonna do at my next market, there are gonna be lots of people there, and I'm gonna do like, you know, sign up for my mailing list and you get to spin this thing and win a free sticker
Okay.
or
That's
whatever.
literally what I was gonna say. That's what I was thinking about. So, um, okay. Let me track my thoughts. Okay, there's a lot happening. In terms of Etsy, well, in terms of your products, I creeped and you're narrowing, which is great. I still think you have a couple different camps and like they can talk to each other, but I think being aware of like the different themes like of the audiences in your work will be helpful. So I feel like you have like Spanish culture and mythology and history is
Hmm.
you have like one camp. And
Hmm.
then the other camp is like memes and
Hmm.
and things like that. And those people don't necessarily cross over all the time. I think the thread is Spanish and
Yeah.
culture there, and so it kind of acts like a bridge. But I'm not sure they're helping build each other up.
Yeah.
If you does one of them make more money than the other, or are they kind of? like two pillars.
The only like meme image that I can really think of is the sana sana colita de rana, which is also like a very cultural thing.
Okay.
So those two things kind of talk to each other. I don't know what else you would consider like a meme in
I
my.
was on your, let me pull up the
Yeah.
website. Like, oh, it's all different. Ah, it's changed. Good for you.
Yeah,
Um,
thanks.
okay. So like the frog thing, which it might just not be part of my culture, and you're like, no, it's relevant. I'm
Yeah.
like, see, and I just don't know.
Yeah.
Like SpongeBob is a meme, with the
Yeah.
rainbow.
But the no pasa nada is like a very Spanish
Okay,
phrase.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's more so then I think what I'm seeing are these like really detailed, like you were talking about, I wrote down pre-Columbian mythology, like
Mhm.
gods, which I think are beautiful. I love these.
Thank you.
But um and so I would kind of recommend you do a what I would call a product audit and really figure out what like your top 12 sellers are and figure
Okay.
out why and then kind of use that to push product development in that
Okay.
direction because in that way if someone comes to your booth and buys it's like oh yeah like 9 out of 10 people or well, that's a lot but 7 out of 10 people buy this one then you can
Mhm.
make something that they're more likely to also buy and then you
Yeah.
can increase their average order value and so that way there's like more interest. Like if they really like the I saw it, it's in my head. It's just like a unicorn or a mermaid lady. Who is she? Where is she?
Oh,
There
La
she is.
Sirena,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
The siren.
lotería.
So
Yeah.
what is a Lotteria card?
Lotería, so like I mean, people call it Mexican bingo, but it's not, but it's a
Okay.
card that has all of the figures on them. And then they call out the card and you place your marker and you can do blackout or traditional bingo like diagonal or straight up and down. Anyway,
Mhm.
but they're made out of these like very traditional Spanish figures, and La Sirena is one of them. And so is like all the other ones that you see on there.
Okay, cool. And so like if someone goes up and they like that one, they have other options to buy. And like same thing with your um mythological like drawings, like the really
Yeah.
detailed ones. And then I think for the marigolds, you have a couple of them, and I think you can start to combine them in different ways with other things and other interests. Like for me, I really like books. So I could be like, how different words. How many different ways could I combine marigolds with books? I could put one on a cover. I could put a book opening and they're growing out of it. I could put like a bouquet of them, like, like with a book or like reading or
Mm,
something like that. And so maybe try to like pair some of these like subcategories together in your brand to kind of create little bridges through them.
yeah.
And then it's going to be unique crossovers, but still within your niche and within your interests.
Mhm.
And it's also kind of streamlining the process. Like you don't have to come up with like a thousand new different ideas. It can kind of be, oh, we're in the same realm. It'll be more useful with your time.
Yeah.
Is what I recommend. But looking at your prices, I'd up them. Stickers go for
Yeah.
I'm low at 4, and I know that. 5 is normally what
Yeah.
people are selling them for these days retail.
Yes. I just changed it to 3 because I'm trying to drive traffic from my Etsy to here.
So this is lower than Etsy.
Yes, Etsy's at 4.
Okay.
And this was at 4 for the past 2 years or however long I've had the Shopify.
I, as someone who really pushes my main store in zero Etsy, I don't see any crossover despite trying to get them to come to my main store. So
Yeah.
I would actually keep it all the same price. And then,
Okay.
so I think the key to getting more traffic on your Shopify is going to be at in-person markets, have a literal clipboard. QR codes don't work. People don't like them. I don't know why, but have a
Okay.
literal clipboard and just have emails. So you could design it. It could be cute.
Hmm.
But
I
like,
just did it yesterday and I was
see, there
going to
we
put a
go.
QR
There
code.
we go. Perfect. And take a pen, tie a string to it, tie it to the clipboard.
Yeah.
And people like a clipboard because they can lift it up and write instead of having to like hunch over and do it on the table.
Okay.
And just collect emails. And then, I mean, people recommend a once a week e-commerce email to remind them you exist. And there's kind of like a rotation between like attract content where it's like behind the scenes and like I'm not actively trying to tell you like sell you something. And then you have engaged content where they're like interacting like, oh, like here's a poll or
Mm-hmm.
here's like a blog of how to decorate for Day of the Dead, or something like related to whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
your products could be like there, but you're not like buy them. And then you can have emails that are like, look, buy them, or look, it's a new product release, or hey, like appreciate your teachers. Here's this really great, card you could send and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And so I think the pipeline to get people to your main shop is going, or on Shopify is going to be from the in-person markets to the email list to then that store. And
Yeah.
you can put inserts in the Etsy orders of like, hey, sign up for my mailing list and say 15% on your first order. But to be able to do that, your prices have to be high enough that you can sustain the 15%. So
Yeah.
I, I'd rather see you go back to $4 and then have like a
Yeah.
welcome coupon and be trying to incentivize that way than like the low cost to begin with. Because then people are like, oh, I have a coupon. I feel special. I'm going to go spend it. Especially if you're like, this is good for, until the end of the month or something. It kind of puts some
Mm-hmm.
incentive on it.
Okay.
But that's what I would recommend to drive traffic rather than like fight the prices because
No, and I've heard that from lots of sellers that like the higher your prices are, the more special it feels for a customer to pay for them.
well, it's perceived value. So if you're
Hmm.
looking at five stickers and they're all kind of similar, and one
Hmm.
of them is lower than the others, you're subconsciously going to go, "Oh, it's cheaper. It's
Hmm.
worse," even if
Hmm.
it's not. It's not,
Hmm.
"Oh, it's a better deal." It's, "Oh, it's less high quality."
Hmm.
Um, what are you selling them for on Fair?
188.
Okay. So, you should never be below half of what you're selling them retail as what you do on Fair because then if like buyers can feel like they're being undercut because you're selling them cheaper on your own website. So I would up it to two and sell them two wholesale, and then sell them four at least on your website, if not five. So on Etsy, if the marigolds are working, I really would lean into that. I would have three or four items that they could maybe bundle together or even sell like a teacher appreciation bundle of it and they get a sticker and a postcard and whatever else you
Yeah.
want to put in there and kind of emphasize that. But I do think you running so many different platforms is tiring as someone who runs so many different platforms. It's trying. So
Mhm.
the I think the best thing we can do is get them all streamlined and like the same, so you don't have to keep track of what is what. Like everything is the same price across all platforms except for Fair, obviously. But
Mhm.
and then everything's the same SKU, everything is the same product photos. And that way you only have to reinvent the wheel once, then you can just keep using the wheel on all your different platforms. And I think that saves you some time and some energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So for an actionable plan, I would get your SKUs all squared away, make
Yeah.
sure they're all in order. I would then create an inventory system, whether in Google Sheets or in Square and hack it
Yeah.
like I do.
Hmm.
Um, and then I would start going through and making systems for you, like kind of a pipeline. Okay, I go to a market, I get their email, I go in my email list, they go on my store, and kind of refresh that way.
Hmm.
Um, would be, I think, the next step pretty much for that section. Okay.
Yeah. Build the email list. Um, and there's not like we don't need their permission, like them writing their email down is them consenting to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you have on there like sign up for my email list where I send you emails about my products.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you're telling them what it's for.
Yesterday or sometime this week, I signed up for OmniSend, which is like a MailChimp platform
I've
that,
heard of that.
yeah. And I try to send like a hey, I know I've been gone. This is what I've been doing.
Hmm.
And I was advertising new lower prices. But it got kicked back and it said that my emails weren't clean because they couldn't verify that I had, I guess, gotten them in the right way. That I had consent from the,
I've never.
yeah, me neither.
So I use
I've
Squarespace
used,
right now for my
mhm.
emails, and I'm going to be switching to Klaviyo because it can hook up to Shopify. But I've never had that come up.
And they were all
Um,
from my Shopify. Like the only reason I had those emails in the first place is because they scrolled through my store, and I didn't have a pop-up before. Now I do, but
So,
they
are
scrolled.
you sending through Gmail?
It was whatever the OmniSend bot is.
Right, but like what, like, did you have a
Oh,
Gmail email sign, like, as
yes.
your, okay, so
Yes.
how Gmail email works is they, how do I explain that? So I just learned about it, so it's kind of new for me too. So we
Hmm.
have essentially, you know how you have credit, like, good credit and bad credit, like in real
Hmm.
life. You kind of have the same thing on Google
Yep.
Mail. And so if you have sent out 0 emails and then suddenly send out 400 of them, it's going to be like, oh, you're spam. So you kind of have to build trust back with Gmail a little bit at a time. And so, like,
Okay.
for me, I can send out, it's like 400 emails a day. That's insane. I'm not sending out 400 emails a day from Gmail, but like as you slowly build that up, Gmail will trust you more and, like, increase your limit essentially. So that could be something. If you have lots of like live links um and like pictures and like it's a really hefty email and they're
Hmm.
not used to getting emails from you, it can bounce back.
That's kind of good to know that Google's doing that on our
Yeah, I'm
behalf.
I'm I'm learning. So how I do wholesale outreach is I'll send them samples and I follow up. And I was doing it. I was literally typing out the emails one by one. I was like, there has to be a better way. And so I looked it up. I'm using something called YAM, which is yet another mail merge. And
Mm.
essentially, you can take your Google Sheet and put in all their emails that you have, and then it'll send it to them one by one instead of me having to individually type it. I
Oh.
was like, oh wow, that's so much better. But it was warning me that like it can't do more than like 400 a day. And I was like, I'm not doing 400 a day, so it doesn't matter. But I looked it up and it was interesting to be like, Google caps you based on like trust. And the longer you're on it and the more emails you send and the more replies you get or
Hmm.
interaction, like the more trust you build. So maybe it was something to do with that because Squarespace put out something, oh, maybe a year ago. They were like, if you're using a Gmail account, it's not going to come from your Gmail. We're going to give you like a fake email address for that one, like every time you send a newsletter because Gmail is like regulated a different way. And so it's like through like a back end thing. I don't really know.
Yeah, it was 72. So maybe if I try to send like 10 at a time, maybe it'll
Yeah. What was the name of the service?
Omnisend.
Omni. And it said clean emails or
Yes,
lack of clean emails.
something like that. Let me see if I can see
Let
the
me
verbiage.
let me look at something real fast.
First, it said sending paused, and then it said sending stopped. Messages sending. We had to stop your store from sending messages. This is because some messages went against our guidelines, and then when I hit the guidelines, it said that they weren't clean. Yeah, it's a get consent for e-commerce.
All right, the internet says it could be old emails people haven't engaged with it a long time, people who never confirmed their email, high bounce rates, spam complaints. It's usually because you imported a list at some point, email people who haven't interacted with you in a while. The campaign had higher than normal bounces, email hasn't been warmed up, and recently increased sending volume. So I would guess it was a segment that hasn't been warmed up. And to warm up a segment, it's okay. So for me, for the Launchpad, um, they sign up like on my website, and then it sends them an email to confirm. And that means they're interacting with the one really simple email from my email address. And
Hmm.
so they log it as an interaction internally, whoever they is. And then it like they're more likely to like respond to it. Now, with emails from markets, I've never had that problem, but I'm also putting in like 1 or 2 pages after a market. That's maybe like 30, 40-ish emails. So it's not
Hmm.
like a lot. Um, so does Omni show you like if emails bounced or if like they like didn't get received by certain email addresses?
So once it did that, I think it was yesterday, I just stopped. I didn't follow up
Pursue.
anything except for click on their guidelines.
Okay.
And it does say like go to your store, and then when I go to my store on the Omnicen, I guess their dashboard, it says at the very top, due to unusual activity, sending emails is paused for campaigns. contact support.
Oh, so they like lock you out.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so who are these people? Let's see. Omnisend. Omnisend.
Oh, I'm just seeing that before. Oh, no, no, no. That was the same one. Sending pause high bounce rate action is needed. The pause can be lifted if you unsubscribe the contacts that did not voluntarily subscribe to your brand or that are old and active and not engaged in your content anymore. So you were right. In situations like this, you need to clean your contact list with a reputable third-party service like Mailgun, Never Bounce, Email Checker, Bounceless, etc.
Okay, so Omnisend is essentially wanting people to opt in through them. And okay, so yeah, essentially it's suggesting start with 10 to 20 people and email them a little bit at a time and then gradually increase volume. Don't do all 70 at once. So to warm them up.
Okay.
So I'm emailing through Squarespace right now because it's hooked to the website, but I'm moving my
Mhm.
products off to Shopify, right? And I'm going to rebrand a little bit. And once I do that, I'm going to use Klaviyo, Clavyo, Clavio, no, C-A. So there's a Y in the middle. It starts with a K. Sound it out, but that's what I'm going to be using because that's what a
Okay.
lot of product-based business, like big people, have been recommending to me, and
Okay.
it integrates with Shopify really well.
Good.
But
That's what I
yeah,
was looking for.
so that's what I recommend. Now, I haven't used it yet, but I will in the next 6 months.
Okay.
And they do have like a like start out free thing
Mm.
because I was looking at it and I was like,
Yeah.
again, I like free.
Yeah.
Now,
Same here.
um, I don't know if you'll run into the same problem, so maybe um like see if they have like a FAQ or a troubleshooting thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think add 10 of them every 5 days, and see how it goes. Or if you have some like really old ones from like 10 years ago, or so like if it's been
No,
a minute.
I think I've had the site for maybe 3 years.
Okay,
I
yeah, no,
think
that's fine. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Because like I've been selling since 2018. I haven't been collecting emails since then, but
Okay.
unless you were like, oh, I just have the same clipboard I've used for 10 years and I just add more paper to it. I'm like, oh, well, that would. So that's what I would recommend. And then once you have
Okay.
that going and you're adding emails from the market, like the percentage, we'll have 70 on there, adding 10, 20, 30 from a market, however many you get, like, it's a I feel like it's a percentage. Like 70 is a way bigger percentage than zero, where 30
Yeah.
isn't as big of a percentage compared to 70.
Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend. Because that is frustrating because you sign up for a service to send emails and they're not letting you send emails. It's like, why am I paying you? Do your
Yeah.
job, man.
Well, I mean, again, this one is free as well
Oh, is it?
until you
Well,
reach like 400 people or something. Like unless your list is big enough for them to
I see.
require more storage.
Well, just because in 6 months I'll know more about it and I'll make a video on it.
Yeah.
Maybe try Clavio then and then
Yeah.
like see if this one ends up being too frustrating is what I would recommend. Just because like that's super weird
Yeah.
and frustrating. So okay.
Oh, well, now it's telling me that deliverability that it did deliver. 70 messages were sent, failed delivery rate of 54%. Zero were marked as spam, zero were unsubscribed.
Did they
That's
bounce then?
I guess they bounced, yeah.
So I don't know if that's Gmail bouncing you or the email's incorrect
Mhm.
bouncing you. Does it tell you? I don't know how it would tell you, but
It says 13 Yahoo emails failed, 15 Outlook emails failed, and 10 Gmail emails
okay,
failed.
so Outlook is usually like business based in my experience. Maybe they don't work
Hmm.
there anymore.
Hmm.
Yahoo has been hacked 1,000 times, and I
Hmm.
like literally from my full-time job, the head of IT, and I have I worked a very tech savvy job, was like, if you're still using Yahoo Mail, stop, get off of it. It's been hacked so many times, it's not safe for your information. I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna stay
Great.
on Gmail. That's good to know. So they might have done that. They might have like closed their accounts after all those like big issues a few years back. So really, I would just remove those people, and then you have your list that didn't unsubscribe and didn't unbounce.
Okay, yeah, I think they have a way for me to say like this person gave me permission to email them.
When I add people on Squarespace, it asks, "Do these people give
Hmm.
you permission?" I'm like, "Yes." They're like, "Okay," and they just add you to the list. So
Okay.
Okay, well, that makes me feel a lot better about them as a whole. I thought they were just like, no, go away. I was like, how rude. Okay, so maybe stick with them. You already have it set up.
Yeah.
It'll save you time. It'll save you energy.
Then I have to learn something else.
Mm,
Because,
but you know, like it's done. And now that we know why it did it, you can just remove those people and then just keep going.
yeah. Okay.
So cool. All right. What other questions do you have? What else can I help you with?
So I sent postcards for the first time ever to my fair retailers and some people that had never purchased, but like I've been to their stores and stuff. And so um, I don't know. No, I don't think any new people, yeah, no new people ordered from me. So it didn't work. But I had lots of repeat people order from me. So that was nice. But
It's
yeah,
it,
the postcard
it's
campaign, I expected more.
well, it's an easier sale to get people who have already ordered
Right, right.
because they trust you.
Yeah.
So I'll just like run through my like wholesale system briefly. Hello, my cat just walked in. I couldn't find him all morning. He was on my son's bed. I'm like, oh, you're hiding from me. Great, cool. So I have a different outreach tactic between people who are already my clients and people who I am trying to acquire as clients. So it's retention versus acquisition. So
Hmm.
for acquisition, I make a collection around a theme. Now, this is a new thing and it worked, so I'm excited to tell you about it. So
Okay.
I made a dinosaur themed collection. I had 34 products. That's too many. Don't do that. Do 12. Do 15, 20 products, not 34. That's insane. And one of them was a coloring book. Dumb. Don't do it. Um, but I had a collection full of all this dinosaur stuff. And I was like, who buys dinosaurs? Museums. Museums have dinosaurs. So I looked up every museum, natural history museum in the country, and I checked if they have a gift shop and if they have a dinosaur exhibit. And if they met both those criteria, they went on my list. And
Hmm.
I sent them an envelope with a double-sided postcard of, hey, here I am. Here's me. Here's my contact info. Here's some images. And then I sent them two bookmarks and a sticker. And I sent them like a handwritten note. And I sent that off. And then 2 weeks later, I followed up with an email and I said, hey, I sent these samples. Did you get them? Can I answer any questions? And about 80% you don't hear back.
Hmm.
90% sometimes you don't hear back. But based on like if I run the numbers, it's less than $2 to send all that stuff. And it's less than I pay $60 a year for that mail merge thing. And it saves me probably 60 hours of not sending emails one by one.
Yeah.
And so it's probably like a $2.25 investment
Okay.
times I sent out 196. There's a lot of museums. Time, whatever that is. And then it's like, well, percentage wise, if one person orders, I make all that money back. So
Hmm.
like the odds are in my favor because I sell paper and you sell paper. People who sell candles, I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
You do dipsticks and send them, but
Right.
it's different. And so that's how I do acquisition of new people. So
Mhm.
I market specifics of my collection to them. So like at the end of the year, I'm going to have a pet themed line. I'm going to market specifically to pet stores and cat cafes and dog boutiques and pet bakeries and things like that. I'm not going to send them my dinosaur stuff. Like they'll still be in there, and if they want to buy a dinosaur, they can. Great, but I'm going to market that specific area of my products to them. And I found that system worked really well because they have a lot to choose from and they can come in. And I also have a bestseller kit where I have a bookmark display and they can get
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
many, I don't remember, 20 times 8 designs. So 160 bookmarks and a free display for 175.
Hmm.
And I sold maybe 12 of those ish during the fair market, so that was good. And it because bookmarks are weird. They're tall, they fall over, and like stickers, everyone has a sticker display. Okay, they're way easier. They're all of a sudden easier to sell. So I do that because bookmarks are hard to display, but. That is kind of my tactic for new acquisition. And then for retention, I will, for fair market specifically, I sent out a fair postcard. It was like New Year's Day. I've stickered them and all that. And then I sent them out the day after. And December 20, something, I'd sent my dinosaur postcard like the 28th. So by the time it arrived, my dinosaur stuff was live. So they got the dinosaur postcard around the 4th of January. They got the fair postcard around the 10th of January. And then I sent an email 7 days before fair market started. It started on the 20th or 21st. So 7 days before that. So somewhere in the teens. And then I have a 4 email system for during fair market, and I send an email to my clients and I send them through the fair system. And because the fair system only like it caps you messages, but
Mm,
if I have their actual email, I can email them all day whether they want me to or not. But
yeah.
um I send a, we've started the I send the 1 week before, fill your cart early so you can have an easier checkout, you don't have to rush. And then I can see what people are putting in their carts, and I can be creepy and I can like see what's selling more. And if I'm like, oh, I only have 80 of those and 70 of them are sold and we're not even there yet, I'm going to order more. So by the time the market starts, I can, have more on hand. And then, so
Wait,
day
how
one of the
do you see what's
market,
in the carts?
oh yeah. Okay. So let me pull up my fare. You pull up yours and I'll show you where you can do that. It's creepy.
Mhm.
I love it. It's just looking at abandoned carts, but it's weird because they're on the thing. So tell me when you have your fair open up and I'll tell
I've
you.
got it open.
Okay, go to customers. I lied. I'm a liar.
Yes.
Shit, where is it? See, now that okay, that's right.
Oh, a mountain cart.
There it is. Yep. All customers sort by amount in cart. And then you can see when it was last modified and you can
Okay.
be a creep.
I did not think of that. That's
Yeah, and you
so
can click
fun.
on it and then you can do show more. You can see exactly what they have in their cart and how much they have it. It's great. It's also frustrating when someone's had like 400 bucks in their cart for like 8 months and I'm like, hi, bye, maybe. Yeah. Because some people just fill it and they check out, whenever they check out, but some people fill it and then check out immediately. So it's kind of fun to snoop. So I will send that email 7 days before, fill your carts. I will send the email first day, hey, we're open, check out now. I'll send an email day two, halfway through. Or no, I'll say sale ends tomorrow because tomorrow sounds way faster than halfway through. Okay,
Mm,
it'll make urgency. And the last day I say, last call, sale ends today for whatever percentage off you put. And
okay.
then at in the morning, so I'll schedule all those, right? So I don't have to actually do them by hand. And then in the morning, I will go in and look at the abandoned carts that have been, added to, and I will message them one by one on Fair. I'll be like, "Hey, Bob, let me see if I can pull up what I sent in my history, and I'll read it to you." Hi, Bob. Just a quick note, today is the last day of the fair sale. All items are this percentage off through tonight in case you wanted to take advantage before it ends. No rush at all, just wanted to share. Cheers, Kelly. And it got me an extra 300 bucks that
Oh,
day. Now I don't know if they were planning to order that day or not, but I like to think it worked, so we're gonna say it worked. And that is my multi touch point because they hear from me about my new collection a month away, the fair market 3 months away, the email about a week away, and then like during the market
mm,
constantly because people forget or they're filling an order and then something happens, they have to run off and they just, they close their browser, they close their laptop. So that's kind of my retention plan. And then I send a wholesale email once a week, which I'm going to be changing how I do that. It's been more, I've been trying to come up with like more information, but it's not just like buy things. Like I'm trying to be more helpful. So
yeah.
I've been trying to curate more like selling tips of how they can better sell my stuff and what sold really well at the fair market. So it could work well in your shop too, and things like that. But
Mm,
you can also have a wholesale email list. So I will get a new client through Fair. I don't know who they are. And I will look them up and I'll find their email and I send them a message on Fair. I was like, hi, thank you for your order. I have this email on file. Is this correct? And that way it's not what is your email? They don't have to like type it in and it takes time. It's a simple yes or no. And if they have bought from you, I do opt them in. And I've never had anyone complain because like buying is a yes, you can use my email in the United States. In the EU, it's different. So if you ever have EU customers, um, don't do it. But in the United States, we're uncouth.
yeah.
So
Relax.
um,
Yeah.
yeah. But And so I'll put them on my email list. And so they're actually getting like every fair message besides the direct DMs. I literally build the email and I copy paste all my sections into fair. And I have it on my notebook and I'm like, okay, check for Friday, check for Friday, check for Sunday, check for Sunday. But I got distracted. So for email list you can have two email lists. You can have your retail email list, the people you're connecting with at markets. And then if someone comes
Mhm.
up and go, oh, I have a store, I love to carry your stuff, be like, oh yes, can I get your email to put on my wholesale list? Be like, oh my gosh, yeah. And then you can add them
Good
specifically to that. You
idea.
can like put a
Yeah.
star, like a W next to it.
Yeah.
And then so you have like a wholesale email list and then a retail email list, and they're separate because you're sending them to Fair or you're sending them to your own website.
Now that you said when you we were talking about museums and reaching out to the dinosaur museums, I just realized that there's like an Oakland museum, and then there's a museum in San Antonio, and a museum in Austin, and the Mexican Art Museum in Chicago. Those all purchase my pre-Columbian stuff.
So go contact more museums that pre-Columbian
All of
exhibits.
those, yeah. And then it's more like the Dallas, Houston, Austin, San Antonio, they purchase the other like Selena and like the pretty
hmm
flowers and the papel picado, like these little things and stuff. So yeah, that was
Do it.
good. Like
So,
my head was it was like marinating in there while you were
good.
talking.
Well, that's what happened. So the Denver Natural History Museum ordered a bunch of postcards from me, which I don't carry anymore. I'm trying to get rid of them, so it's actually really helpful. Because that's a fourth business I'd like to launch in 2028, but we'll see. I don't have control. That's fine. And so I went museums, and then I sell it to the American Cat Museum.
Oh, cute.
It's real. It's really cool. I've been. It's fun, and they like foster kittens, and you can come play with them and stuff. But which is dangerous. And then the Hagley Museum up in New England ordered, and I went. I never even considered museums. I guess they do have gift shops, and so that did like reverse engineer. I went. I like dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And and so the same thing happened where I went, oh, and so literally what I did was it a few days ago, and oh, it's probably further back to my notebook now, other way. I literally went through and just brainstormed other places I could sell my work, and that's like inspiring my collections. And it was kind of a reverse engineer of the worksheet I made you guys on the Launchpad, where it's where are your customers? Where do they shop?
Mhm.
I did a what do I like to draw? What businesses buy that stuff? And so I came up with, just as an example, there we go. So I have like art supply stores, cats, dogs slash pets, plants and nature, animals slash zoo slash farm, baked goods and desserts, love food, excited about that one. And then under cats, dogs, and pets, I have cat cafes, dog parks, pet stores, dog boutiques, veterinary clinics with retail areas, animal hospitals, emergency vet clinics, pet grooming, dog daycares, training centers, adoption centers, shelters, humane society, coffee shops with resident cats, bookstores with resident cats, which is already a big client of mine, ice cream shops with dog menus, right? And so just like thinking of all the different little ways that our niches and our themes are like in the world and being like, yeah, for pre-Columbian art, you could, I mean, really even sell all over Central and South America as well. I think it'd be great. And now I don't know how to do shipping. I have zero help on that. But within the United States, I mean, there's so much culture everywhere. And I feel like if you really start looking of like, okay, even Mexican like communities, what stores are in those shops, and are they mom and pops? Are they big
Mhm.
box? How can I contact them? And I'm assuming you speak Spanish since you make
I do.
Spanish products.
Mhm.
That is huge because if they have vendors reaching out to them and they don't speak Spanish, but you do, and you're able
Yeah.
to, sorry, my voice is going, is
Yeah.
able to connect with them on that level, like great,
Yeah.
utilize it. So Jacqueline Snyder likes to say everyone has an unfair disadvantage. That's yours. And it's great. So use it. But yeah, I would sit down with your brain and the internet and just really trying to pinpoint, well, where else can these pop up? Where are these relevant? Like even
Yeah.
so, I'm from Lawrence, Kansas. They have a very big Mexican American community. They have the fiesta downtown every year at my home church. and it's a big tent. My mom volunteers for accounting. I dipped corn one year. It was it was good. But it was a great time. And someone somewhere is having a fiesta and they have a merchandise area.
Yeah.
And you could be there. So
What do you dip the corn in?
a can of butter and then and then you rolled it and then you put sour cream and lettuce and some sort of thing and you sprinkle it
Nice.
and you hand it to them and it was delicious what you did it was roasted in the husk and you pulled and you dipped and
Yum.
it was probably like movie theater butter popcorn
Yeah.
butter if I had
Yeah.
to think about it but it's great we have a really big community and
Cool.
I love Mexican food but yeah and so there are all these like little communities within communities and I think if you could
Yeah.
figure out what stores are there that could be really
Okay.
great. Any last lingering questions I can
Mm.
answer while you got me
Oh, yes. When
Mhm.
you send your like when I send my stickers wholesale, I do like I do like a cellophane bag, right? And I do one of these like big like backer cards and then I
Mhm.
put their stickers inside, right? Like that.
That's so
Right.
cute.
And so it'll be like hopefully several, right, stickers inside. Um, have you ever offered to do that like individually? I mean,
Yeah.
obviously it would be a
Let me show
smaller
you. Let
card
me
and
let me
this
grab it.
kind
Let me
of
show you what I do. I know a lot of people do backing cards. It's another expense for me and I didn't want to do it. So I
hmm
didn't. So I literally have a bag. This is from clearbags.com.
hmm
And it is, let me get the bag with the measurements. I don't remember what size it is. They come in packs of 100. It looks like this. And it is code HB43. And I'm sure HB stands for hang bag, and 43 is like their SKU. And then it is 3 and 5/16 inches by 4 and 1/8 inches.
Okay.
And it looks like this, and it's got a little delta hole at the top. And then this flap is sticky. And so I take scrapbooking dots and I take my sticker and I just go boop, like really small, like quarter of an inch, half an inch on the
Mhm.
back. And they're clear-ish. There's a little purple to them. And I'll put it, I didn't actually do it, but I'll show you. I'll put it in the bag and I'll center it and I'll stick it and I pinch and it sticks to the middle. Whoop, if they're sticky on it. And then I and then I just peel it and seal it, and then that's how I do it. Now, if you don't do the sticky, it's not straight up and down. And I think that
Yeah.
looks terrible. And so that's why I do the sticky. But I don't do the backing cards for one, I don't want to print them. That's more expense. Two, I can go, look, this matches every display because it's clear. It won't clash with your store. Like I can hype it up. But really it's about I didn't want to spend the money to do it. People really like it. Now pros of the card, they're cute, especially yours. Like I really like your card. But additionally, you can put on the back your social information. They can come look you
Right.
up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have on the back
Yeah.
of mine. Yeah.
For just sending bulk wholesale stuff, I literally just have this without the hang and I just put them all in there and I just wrap it and stick. Yours is much cuter than mine. I really, really like it. But yeah, that's what I do. I offer hang bag packaging. It's an additional quarter per sticker. Um, but not as many people take advantage of it as I thought. Like even for
Mhm.
the fair market, I maybe sold 24 stickers like this, and every other sticker I sold wasn't packaged. And I sold maybe 100 bookmarks with bags because I have this exact same bag, but like bookmark sized. And I sell way more packaging on bookmarks overall because they're
Mm.
harder where these just like stick and stay. But I will get people that want them hung instead. And I already have the bags and I have a system.
hmm
Um, if I had to start over, I don't know if I would offer it because not enough people take advantage of it.
Okay.
Um,
Well,
so I'm not sure it's
yeah, because I was gonna say I don't even know how to offer that. I think another creator said that you just go into where you like if you have different sizes of something, which I
that's
have like
exactly how I do it. Yeah.
okay, like I have a 4-inch marigold versus a 3-inch marigold, and that she just puts in there like I guess packaged or not packaged. I don't know. I was
Yeah,
like, I need a visual
um
walkthrough of this thing,
let me
but
show you mine. Let me pull my shop up.
but if it's not maybe if it's not worth it, then maybe I don't need to sweat it,
The only reason I started doing it is because someone asked for it.
Okay.
For the bookmarks, and I was like, oh, I'll do the stickers too. So welcome to my fair shop. So like on this sticker, boop. So here it is, clear hang bag packaging or no packaging. And so clear hang bag is $2.25. No packaging is $2. I have a minimum quantity of 12. They can go up to, I guess only 20. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. That's in fact annoying. I didn't know that.
Maybe there are only 20 in the shop.
I don't think so. I don't think I put quantities on my new ones because I had so many coming in. Okay. Well, interesting. Well, now we know. And so that's how I do it. But it is a variance. Like if it was a shirt, I'd have small,
Okay.
medium, large.
Okay.
And then you can put different prices on it. So yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any other last lingering questions?
No, I think you went over a whole lot with me. I appreciate your time.
Great. All right. So for the recording, for those watching, tell them where they can come support your work and check you out.
Oh, thanks. KalakaTx, KalakaTx.com. And on Instagram, but I'm awful at social media because I'm an elder millennial. But yeah, no, I really enjoy drawing, and I'd love to answer questions about like any of the figures that I have that maybe don't make sense to other people.
Okay, great. So go on her socials, ask her questions. She wants to tell you all about them.
I want to
All right.
teach you.
It's like you're a teacher. I love that. All right. Well, thank you so much. This was so much fun. I appreciate
Thank
this.
you. It's really great to meet you face to face.
Yeah,
Kind of.
this is really good.
Yeah.
It's because like on Patreon, like I see the names and I'm like, I have no idea who they are. I have no idea what
Yeah.
they do. Yes, this is really nice. All right. Well, have a great
Thank you very
weekend.
much. You too.
And
Thank you.
I'll be in touch.
Yeah. Thanks
All right,
again.
thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
So in this session, we strengthened structure instead of just adding more stuff. We simplified SKUs, we organized inventory, and we aligned pricing and email systems so everything feels a little bit more sustainable. So if you want to apply all that to your own business, here are 3 steps. Number 1, clean up your SKUs. Pick one simple system and use it everywhere. Same SKU on Etsy, Shopify, Faire, wherever you're at. Because consistency is going to save you hours of time in the end. Second, run a top 12 audit. Find your top 12 items, see what's in common between all of them, and then ask, is it theme? Is it pricing? Is it packaging? Is it audience? And then start using that to develop out more products in your brand. It's going to save you time and energy. If you want more information on that, chapter 2 of the Launchpad can really help you out. And then number 3, start collecting emails in a low-tech way. If you're doing in-person markets, clipboard, pen, piece of paper, really simple, really great way to start building an email list that can help your business grow in a sustainable way without you having to work to get more customers. They're coming to you anyway, so see if you can market to them later. In my example I used, I have some misprints, I have some things I've retired, give them away for free. That's what I'm doing. So have an incentive for them to sign up on the email list. You don't always have to have one, but it can help. Even if it's just like, oh, sign up and then you'll get a digital download for a wallpaper, something like that, right? Because that's no more cost to your business. And then if you do have an email list, but you haven't been doing it in a while, warm up the list slowly, do it in small batches so you don't alarm the internet with suddenly a ton of emails from your email that hasn't been emailing a whole lot lately. So that's it. No new platforms, no rebranding, just a stronger structure on the back end so you can sell more on the front end. So if you'd like help identifying the bottleneck in your business and you want to book a strategy call, all that information is available at sleepyheadlaunchpad.com, and I'd be happy to chat. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.